Okay, welcome to Year 4's little video to showcase and show what you are doing throughout the year, giving you, the parents, a guide to what your children will be getting up to at school.
So, in Year 4 we start with 4 topics this year. For the whole of the autumn term, our topic is called Seen But Not Heard, and that focuses on the Victorians, the life of the children in the Victorian times and comparing that to modern day. We then move on to Straight Ahead in Spring 1, which is all about the Romans, which then leads us nicely after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius into Ashes to Ashes in Spring 2, which focuses all on volcanoes. And lastly, for the whole of the summer term, our topic will be Running Wild, which focuses on the rainforests.
Fantastic. And now to English and writing, which makes a big part of the English curriculum. English, as you know, is one of the core parts of the curriculum, along with mathematics, and we do this mostly in the morning. We'll be focusing on a lot of different genres: letter writing, diary writing, narrative writing, looking at different ways that stories are structured and from different points of view. We'll be also looking at non-fiction writing, such as recounts and newspaper articles, to give the children a real sort of overall look at how writing can inspire, and they can aspire to be fantastic authors and writers of the future. We'll be looking at different texts to help us learn these different ways of writing, so we'll be looking at using those texts in a way to really inspire them and to have writing in the different genres. And finally, the cross-curricular writing, where it's used as a vehicle for different subjects, and they can see that it's not just in English that they can write, but in different subjects where they can, really sort of allow themselves to go with the flow. And finally, the creative write, where their inspiration and their imaginations are allowed to run wild. And we really look forward to this part because we get to see a lot of different influences from home and different things that they are really interested in, and they can really, they love to write, and it's a real pleasure watching them do this. With cursive handwriting, we must always, that's what we're doing at school. We're always thinking about those swooshes in on lowercase letters, and always not to join capital letters. Capital letters are standalone letters. When we're focusing on the formation, it's about the joins to ensure the quality of handwriting is at the expected level. We always promote the handwriting, and we can really see throughout the year how the children are focusing that daily approach, that weekly approach, and how it progresses throughout the year.
The children are experts when it comes to letter formation. They've done it from reception all the way through, but just on our website here you'll be able to see how it is that we ask the children to form those letters and the direction that they should take their pencil on the page. Now, of course, reading is a massive part of the English curriculum, and at NIPC this year it's a huge focus throughout the school, from nursery all the way up to Year 4. It's something that we're really pushing and we're really driving, but there are a couple of changes to reading this year. At the moment, I'm sure you are aware that we're not sending reading books home just yet, but that is coming soon. Mrs. Goodyear has got a plan in the hat that she is ready to pull out and share with us. So your child will be bringing a book home soon, and that goes for the lending library as well, the weekly lending library, where they can go to the library, choose a book and take it home. The children will be reading in lots of different contexts. We'll be reading, like Mr. Gillespie said, during an English lesson, focusing on our text. They take part in our ERIC sessions daily, which stands for Everybody Reading Class, where we really focus on the comprehension, the inference, the summarising, the prediction, all of those really tricky reading skills that children are expected to know by the end of their primary school education. We're really going to focus on those in school in Year 4 particularly, and your child will be listened to read at least once a week. We'll get there eventually.
Maths. So when it comes to maths times tables, they're a big part of Year 4 because there is a new statutory test based on the times tables, and that's all of the multiplication tables up to 12 times 12. That will be happening in the summer term. We have already started big work on that, so if you can get your child onto Times Table Rockstars at home, if you have an iPad or anything, any sort of computer device where you can get them onto Times Table Rockstars, that will really help complement the work that we are doing in school. They will have time to do that in school as well, go on Times Table Rockstars, but also we'll be doing weekly tests where we are focusing on a specific personal times table that is absolutely for them. So they'll move up every time they get to either 10, 11 or 12, they'll move on to the next one, and then they'll go from single times tables onto mixed times tables, and really thinking about that rapid recall. We'll be chanting, we'll be doing different techniques to make sure that they have stored that information, and they can really go into that test in the summer term with a lot of confidence.
It's paramount that the children are able to do that fast recall and not have to count on their fingers. because during the test there's 25 questions and each question only has 6 seconds to answer it. If the question isn't answered within that time, the child scores 0 for that question and a new question will appear on the screen. So that rapid recall is so important.
When it comes to the units that we'll be focusing on in the maths curriculum, it will be mainly White Rose that we are using, which is a scheme of learning that the whole school uses from reception all the way up to year 4, and therefore the things we look at are very, sort of all covering in the curriculum: place value, data handling, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction, measure, geometry and fractions. We'll always be going over consolidation, making sure that we fill any gaps that children might have in their learning, but always focusing on the reasoning and mastery skills. So can they do 15 of addition sums or multiplication sums, but can they see that in a more abstract way, and can they solve problems, and can they use different operations in different ways in order to get an answer.
So moving on to homework, there are quite a few changes with homework this year. Obviously with the pandemic and everything that's gone on, we're not sending homework books home, but please be assured that soon we will be sending home differentiated, so ability matched English and maths homework home with your child to complete. However, at home there's still loads of things that you can be doing: reading with your child, practicing spellings, practicing those timetables like we spoke earlier. They're all really important skills that we would love your children to continue to develop at home. Whilst at the moment we are not sending reading books, the children all have logons to Oxford Owl, which is a website where all of our reading books are online. The children can choose from a vast array of books and they can then read the books at home without having to bring them into school and swap them. There's so many to choose from, the children love it. We've also recently sent home a slip of paper to explain the changes with weekly spellings. We are not going to be sending home a label in the home links book anymore. We will send you a weekly text. It's got your child's spellings on the text there for you, and Spelling Shed will be updated to test your child on those weekly spellings. Everything that you could possibly need for homework at home during these times is on our school website. It really is the Bible this year. Just like it was in lockdown, everything that you can possibly find, whether it be logons to websites, different website addresses, different ideas and different work, it's all on the website. So please, if you're unsure of anything, just head straight over to the website and it's all there for you.
All the work you do at home, we must say, it massively complements what we are doing in school, so we appreciate every effort that you are making at home to make sure that your child's learning is maximised. Thank you very much for that.
So what can you do to support your child at home? Obviously in year 4, they've only just moved to year 4, but we are already thinking that this time next year they're not going to be in our school anymore. So one of the massive things that we want them to do is for them to develop their independence and just have that little bit more ownership with their reading, their spellings, their timetables. They need to be the ones who are coming to you and saying, I need you to listen to me read tonight, I need you to test me on my 9 times tables, I need to get better. But like it's been all the way through NIPESLY, talk to them about their learning, ask them what they've done in the day, read to them daily, ask them on the spot questions, multiplication questions, addition questions. That rapid recall of mental maths and times tables would be a massive help. So thank you very much for everything that you do.
When it comes to assessment in year 4, it's ongoing throughout the year in all subject areas. So for example, we've done some baseline assessments to make sure that we know where the children are at, so that we can obviously pitch the teaching that we do correctly for each student, and that will, in English, that looks into SPAG tests, so we're looking at spelling and grammar, and then in maths we'll be doing different checks throughout the year. Obviously we're focusing on times tables a lot, but we'll also be doing half-termly different tests where they are focusing on what they have learnt throughout each half term. At the end of a unit of work, so say it was addition and subtraction, we will then, after a block of teaching, do a test to see can they recall and can they consolidate that knowledge that they have learnt over that period of time. For example, we'll have parents' evenings won't be the same melody, because they will be phone calls more so. So it'll be more of a phone drop-in where we obviously talk to you about how your children are doing. There'll be termly reports, but also Too Simple that we use as an assessment tool where we're taking photographs and we're able to not just do everything in writing, but take photographs to show practical learning going on and how that engages. So that works especially for one of my favourite subjects, music, where we can show them doing a lot of things, and it's there for all to see, which is fantastic. But we must say, with the phone drop-ins, if there's anything that we need to tell you before any parents' evenings, we are available, and that's works both ways for both us to you and you to us on Thursdays after school. So if you have any questions or queries, or if you have any concerns whatsoever about your children, if you can please message us or text us or ring us during that time, that would be fantastic, and we can get to the bottom of any issues you may have.
Now moving on to one of the children's favourite things at Nicholson, of course, which is forest school. I'm sure they came home on Monday very excited for their first forest school session in year 4. At the moment we're trying to get the children outside into the fresh air as much as possible, so we will be having weekly forest school sessions, and they will be every Monday. The children on Monday came in their forest school clothes, which I'm sure Mr Gillespie will agree made the whole day so much more easy. We were able to go straight out into the forest school, really maximise the learning opportunities that we had out there, and then it was easy for sending children home as well. There was no getting changed and no muddy wellies all around the school, so the children loved it. So forest school's every Monday, and then in the summer term, that's when we focus on our class forest school sessions with Mr Fox, our specialist forest school teacher.
When it comes to PE, we'll be doing this every Tuesday for Class 8 and then every Friday for Class 9. That's just so we are able, as an individual class, to have maximum space available to us to teach the highest quality PE lessons. When it comes to PE kits, if we can come into school wearing them, that means that there's not too much fuss with them getting changed. And then in autumn term, we are focusing on games, and we'll be focusing on different areas and aspects of PE throughout the year.
One of the children's favourite things possible about Year 4 is of course Standon Bowers. This is where the children leave home for possibly the first time for 2 nights away, and we go to an outdoor education centre. Now this is provisionally booked for the week of the 24th February to the 26th, which is just a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. But there is more information to come on Standon Bowers as we receive it. Obviously everything's up in the air at the moment with what's going on in the country, so please bear with us. As soon as we get any more information about Standon Bowers, we will let you know.
Okay, as Miss Mountford said before, the school website is such an important tool to us this year, and it's got everything you would possibly need should you have any queries or questions about what is going on in your child's education. It's got topic maps where you'll see all of the different topics that we're doing this year and how we are linking different subjects to those specific topics. It's got all your homework needs on there. The spellings will be on there, as well as texts, as mentioned earlier. The different policies for anything within school and how we go about doing things, that's all on there. And of course, Mr Evans has put a lot of e-safety information should you be worried about anything that's going on at home and keeping your child safe on the internet. There at the bottom is the web address, so please take good note of that, and it's got everything you could possibly need.
It really is the Bible this year, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, like I said earlier, thinking about transition to middle school, it may seem quite a daunting aspect to sort of get your head around, especially so early into Year 4 already. But at the end of Year 4, your child will move to middle school, and that is usually James Bateman, just across the road, or over to Woodhouse Middle School. The middle schools do an amazing job of ensuring that that transition process is as seamless and as smooth for those children as it possibly can be. So particularly in the summer term, the middle schools are always coming in for assemblies. There's lots of opportunities for the children to go to the middle schools, take part in team building days, get to know the staff, get to know the building, and not only that, but get to mix with other children from the different first schools in Biddulph as well. Obviously, we will update you on more information for that as we get it, because everything is a little bit bonkers this year and a little bit crazy. But it's very, very important that your child is starting to think about middle school. I know that it's scary for them and it's probably scary for you, but it is a massive step for them. But in school, we will do everything that we possibly can to ensure that their transition, wherever it may be, is as seamless and as smooth as it can possibly be.
So checklist, things that you need in school most days and definitely most weeks. Water bottles in school every day. That really, it helps us massively, because if they've got their own water bottle, and we can make sure we fill in, make sure we're taking them home at night, of course, to clean and then bring them back. That's fantastic. In terms of juice, toast and milk, so that's, if possible, it really helps us if we can have the money on a Friday. We can go over the weekend to do our weekly shop with all the different toast and juice and milk, and then the last thing, is names on all items of clothing. I'm sure there's no sort of greater sort of irritants than being able to not your child come home without their jumper because it might not have a name on. So if you can name them, that is a real help to us, and we can make sure that the children are wearing what they need on each day, including forest school equipment or forest school clothing or PE clothing as well.
Can I just add as well about the weekly toast fruit, toast juice and milk money?
Yeah.
If possible, can that be brought to school in an envelope or a plastic bag, just so that members of staff aren't having to handle coins in our hands, obviously, with everything that's going on? That would be really, really helpful. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for listening. I'm sure, I hope it's not been too laborious for you, but no, it's fantastic to be able to communicate with you in this way, to show you what we are doing this year. We're absolutely, we're so excited about, what we can achieve this year with your children, and we're just really excited about the different things that we'll be doing and making sure that your children feel as safe and as positive.
Absolutely.
And have a really sort of positive mental health as possible, so that they come to school feeling happy, feeling safe, and really wanting and eager to learn. So that that's a massive thing.
But if you do have any questions or any concerns, like Mr. Gillespie mentioned earlier, our drop-in is every Thursday after school. I believe it's 3:30 till 4 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes.
We will be down in the office manning the phone, so if you need us, give us a call. In the week, if there's anything else that you want to ask us, drop us a text or speak to us when we come out to pick your child up in the morning over the wall and the barrier. That would be brilliant, thank you. If you haven't got any other questions though that you need to write down, just as a quick reminder, my email address for children in class 8 is homework8@knightley.staffs.sch.uk, and it's exactly the same for Mr. Gillespie and his class, but homework9@knightley.staffs.sch.uk. But thank you very much for listening, and of course we're always here to help if you need anything.
Thank you very much.
You,
bye bye. Bye bye.